The youth unemployment crisis in China gets worse as 2024 draws to a close. Since its economic opening to the outside world more than 40 years ago, China's economy has never faced a crisis like the one it is currently facing. The post-COVID bounce, which was expected to send the economy into overdrive, turned out to be little more than a whimper. Beijing made the decision a few years ago to wean its economy off of the overheated real estate market, which has supported China's banking industry, local government finances, and household savings. The real estate market is currently in distress. Developers failed, leaving a wake of lost jobs, unsold flats, massive debts, and a path of bad investments. Hiring has slowed down as a result of the overall economic slump and the collapse of the real estate and housing markets in particular, with positions that would be most suited for recent graduates still suffering the most. After the government discontinued reporting unemployment statistics since June of 2023, following a 6-month hiatus, China's National Bureau of Statistics (NBS) issued official data on youth employment for last December 2023, revealing 14.9% of the workforce. The rate had increased steadily to a record high of over 21%, as high as 40% in rural areas, or as high as 50% when part-time or underemployment are taken into account. However, the measure's methodology has now been changed to remove students. The situation that young people in China are facing is reflected in the lower result, which is still around 3 times higher than the country's total jobless rate of 5.1%. In contrast, the average for the OECD is 10.5%. Is the unemployment issue in China becoming worse? What might be the potential reasons? As we examine this topic in more detail, stay tuned. Hello and welcome. While creating amazing content is what we are passionate about, we also strive to provide value for every second spent here. However, if there's one thing you can do to return the favor for the amazing workload that goes in to deliver great value is to give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and kindly leave your feedback in the comments section below. In so doing, you're supporting the work we do. Turning on the bell notification icon keeps you up to speed with new video publications, and sharing our content indicates you want to see our content gaining a wider reach. Thanks for coming around. Thanks for liking our videos. We wish you and your family a happy and long life. Stay tuned and pay attention. The Chinese Statistics Bureau released its July data, which show that 17.1% of people between the ages of 16 and 24 are unemployed. This is the highest rate since the nation started updating the politically sensitive metric earlier this year, and it represents a 3.9% increase since June. Following the announcement in June 2023 of a staggering 21.3% youth unemployment rate, Beijing immediately halted publishing these data until December 2023. The new methodology, which keeps out students, jobless people in rural areas, and people who have given up looking for work, has kept the number in double digits but marginally lower. A number of the causes of China's youth unemployment are similar to those that the rest of the world faces, such as insufficient job creation in the private sector and skill mismatches. There won't be enough employment to keep up with the expanding number of recent graduates entering the labor market in China, nearly 12 million in 2024, especially when regulatory restrictions are slowing the expansion of sectors like technology that are most likely to hire young people. The Economist Intelligence Unit predicts that a persistent mismatch will keep China's youth unemployment rate high this year. It clarified why there are significantly more recent graduates than there are jobs available, most of which are still concentrated in lower-skilled industries. New graduates frequently choose careers in hot manufacturing areas. An April 2023 poll by the human resources firm Chapin found that 85% of workers believe there are obstacles to finding or keeping a job after the age of 35, particularly in sectors like internet technology, finance, and autos. However, the Chinese youth labor market also has a few distinct features. Young Chinese workers are subjected to severe cultural expectations, including the custom of working 9 to 9-6 or 9 in the morning to 9 at night, 6 days a week. One of the main causes of the high and persistent rates of youth unemployment is the burnout that follows. China, the most populous nation on Earth, has benefited tremendously from its sizable labor market in recent decades as it has rapidly developed economically. The working-age population in China has been declining significantly in recent years despite improvements in overall working conditions for the populace. The nation's low birth rate is mostly to blame for this. Beyond just fresh college graduates, workers in their 30s and 40s are also facing more employment insecurity as a result of China's economic troubles. For example, age-related biases may increase the likelihood of rejection for a 35-year-old employee. The fundamental causes are obvious. In the midst of a sluggish economic recovery, businesses are trying to save labor costs by recruiting fewer people and replacing older staff members with younger, more affordable workers. Furthermore, recruiting university graduates is encouraged by local government incentives, which further disadvantages older workers. These seasoned workers are especially vulnerable since they frequently deal with increased household expenses such as childcare. China's labor market is difficult and requires a lot of government policy help. The nation expects 11.79 million university graduates in 2024, a 210,000 increase over 2023. China wants to maintain an urban unemployment rate of approximately 5.5%, while creating over 12 million new jobs in urban areas in order to handle this surge. According to official data, there were 12.44 million new urban jobs last year, with an average urban unemployment rate of 5.2%. The second biggest economy in the world currently appears to be struggling to expand after decades of fast progress. In 2015, the number of employed individuals fell for the first time in decades, and the GDP growth rate showed a downward trend during the previous 10 years. Many Chinese businesses are struggling as a result of the coronavirus outbreak, the US-China trade disputes, and the global economic slowdown. This is causing a recession in China's labor market. Issues related to gender in China's labor sector. China's labor market has particular gender-related issues. For younger Chinese women, the combination of lower birth rates and greater death rates results in more limitations. Regretfully, businesses and society conventions frequently dissuade women from entering the workforce in favor of the conventional responsibilities of staying at home to raise children. This pressure makes gender imbalance worse by preventing young women from pursuing rewarding occupations. China has suffered significant losses in its foreign trade sector, which has been the engine of China's economic growth for decades as a result of the protracted Sino-US trade war. Young people in China, meanwhile, are choosing to lie flat, that is, to be inactive and not work or engage in any economic activity, or turn into professional children, who are paid by their parents or grandparents to live with and take care of them, in response to the demanding hours and poor compensation. Younger Chinese women face additional barriers to obtaining or maintaining a job as a result of rising death rates and declining birth rates, even after the one-child policy was lifted almost 10 years ago, in part to slow down the aging population. Both employers and society are reluctant to hire them and instead discourage them from staying at home to raise their children. First hesitant to recognize the scope of harm caused by the crisis, the government's reaction has been sluggish. Enforcement of labor laws, financial incentives for hiring young people, and efforts to facilitate the transition from education to the workforce, particularly after university, can all be helpful. However, longer-term structural or societal challenges, such as the importance of education, rapid urbanization, and emotional mental health, as well as macroeconomic risks, also require consideration from a youth perspective. China, though, still has a lot to do better. First, with high-quality products, the potential of domestic demands may be further enhanced and met. Second, it is an excellent time to get rid of low-value, outdated industries and to further boost high-tech, environmentally friendly sectors. To draw in more international investors, China's market could also be opened up more to services, particularly in the IT and finance sectors. In the job market, highly competent workers ought to be paid more. Effective post-secondary education and vocational training may also contribute to a restructuring of China's labor market. The scenario has severe ramifications for Chinese productivity and growth, as well as prospective effects on global young labor markets due to China's disproportionate influence in the world economy. This is particularly true in nations like those in Africa and Latin America, for instance, where Chinese commerce, investment, and development funding are essential to their own dynamism and the creation of jobs despite severe debt. The effects of high youth unemployment will last long if China's working-age population continue to drop the next year. However, this is not the year that youth unemployment should disappear. It's been a great deal sticking around till this point. However, if there's one thing you can do to return the favor for the amazing workload that goes in to deliver great value is to give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and kindly spare some seconds of your precious time to leave a feedback in the comments section below. Turning on the bell notification icon keeps you up to speed with new video publications, and sharing our content indicates you like to see our content reach a wider audience. Thanks for coming around, thanks for liking our videos. Do have a splendid day. Stay tuned.